Hello, everyone. My name is Kacie Deters. I typically study health equity research, mainly risk factors predictors for Alzheimer's disease and cognitive decline, specifically, though, for Black communities. This work is important to me because I fully do not understand how in this country there is so many structural barriers that have prevented people of color in this country, whether it be Black communities, Hispanic, Mexican communities, from getting the same access to so many resources, right? Not just healthcare, education, and all of these things actually culminate together to impact somebody's cognitive health, or overall brain health as well, and risk for Alzheimer's. You know, the Black community has a higher risk for Alzheimer's disease. The second highest group is those who are Hispanic or are Latino. And yet they're the ones who are typically excluded from a lot of our research. One of the really important things that has come from research within communities, right? Not comparing, white versus Black communities or white versus Hispanic or Latino communities. One of the important things that we've seen of just looking within community is how important different social environmental factors are to one's brain health. This is something that is relatively new in the field and something that we've been very interested in trying to create the best measures we can in order to aggregate, all of these different social and environmental factors and economic factors. Oftentimes when I share this research, my research and my findings with other scientists, those people, those researchers and scientists who aren't familiar with the importance of health equity research often state, well, where's the white comparison group? Well, how does this compare to, the research findings from, study X, when study X is all white individuals, right? This is why research within the Black community is so important, because how are we going to truly identify risk factors or predictors for disease if we're continually comparing them to a group that has a completely different lived experience, including the socioeconomic overall access to healthcare? It's not race that is the issue, right? It's racism. It's racism in the healthcare. It's racism in the, at the political level. It's racism in education. It's not race that's an issue. It's racism. So thinking and remembering about that and what causes racism, and let's focus on those factors. Of course, there are, physical, biological things. But for example, discrimination and racism, if you experience that over a life course, that can lead to stress. Stress can lead to different biological changes that actually do have a biological impact in the long term. But it's not the Black or brown person themselves, right? It's that experience of racism or discrimination that led to that. Ultimately, really focusing on like social and environmental things that we as scientists can't just change. There has to be policy change at the government level, whether it's within city, state, national, in order to ultimately help alleviate some of these disparity-causing factors for Black and brown communities.